Today, we're going to transform this area into this. We're going to be starting our oil refinement journey. Okay, so here is the blueprint we'll be using for the oil and the oil refinement that will be turning into plastic, rubber, and fuel. Let's see if we can jump up here. All right, so we have this catwalk here that is going to be open-ended to connect into the next one that we lay down into a line. So that will all be connected. And then we have this bottom base that's covered up. We have some logistic pipes that will be flowing through the bottom here. So I had to make this one too high and this one over here 1, because we just having problems with fitting enough space. We had to go up a little bit higher. So we're going to go look at that on the inside. So as you can see, we have some color coordination with the pipes. One of them is black for the oil, so that's the crude oil input. Now, I'm going to actually hop up on the inside here and hop up on top so we can show this. So one side is going to be plastic and the other is going to be rubber. Now these both take in 30 crude oil per minute. So each blueprint is going to use 60 crude oil per minute, and it's going to output, each of these are going to output different things. So this rubber is going to output 20 rubber per minute, which is cool. And then we have our heavy oil residue also coming out. We have to get rid of the heavy oil residue to make sure that we can keep producing the plastic. And same with keep producing the rubber. And so same with the plastic. The plastic also has heavy oil residue, but only 10 this time. So for a total of 30. So to get that dealt with, I decided to use the heavy oil residue alternate and turn heavy oil residue into fuel. And basically, I had a allocation for 240 oil, I believe, and that will mean we use 4 of these blueprints and we'll produce, I believe, 80 oil in total, because this for refinery will be underclocked actually to 50%, so it's going to use 30 heavy oil, which is what we're producing with these two. So these two pull in from the tall side over here, and then the underside, let's drop down here. So they both output into this side. So the output of one side is the input of the other for the middle refinery, and that's just pulling in that just the heavy oil residue, and then it's outputting onto this orange pipe here. So we have our input and then we have our output. We also have our belts running in between both refineries. So one side is running in between the right side of it and the left side, and this is going to be the output for both the plastic and rubber. The only issue that we technically have here is that they don't I can't like run these together, or actually I guess I could, but I guess I didn't, where we could be running these into, like, let's say a wall through here. That's one thing I didn't do, because one reason I didn't really want to do that is because this this conveyor wall, if I were to place it, let's say here, for 2 of them I have to have the other slot over here, and it's being blocked by the pipes inside, so logistically there wasn't a ton of space here. So I decided to output them both here, and then I would actually build the factory itself with the idea that the inputs are not in one line, or sorry, the outputs are not going in one direction. So we are going to basically kind of merge all this into one area. So that's why that's not there. And one of my favorite thing, I think, in this update is that we can just delete blueprints. Like, it's crazy. The other thing for this blueprint is that we are kind of consolidating all of our power into, like, power connections. So on each corner, along with the output side, we have these wall outlets that are kind of running throughout the whole thing, but that are kind of hiding those power wires. and making it easy so when we place down each blueprint, so once we place down all of our blueprints, we can then go and connect each item to power. So we're going to grab a power on one and connect it right next to the other one, because the other one is going to be right here. You guys may be curious on why I don't have these pipes connected to the walls. That's simply because you cannot you cannot connect pipes or like conveyors or something like that to the wall for some reason. It just tells you that you're like out of bounds basically. So I wasn't able to connect this while it was in the blueprint maker. And it let me do this one conveyor, but it didn't let me do the other one. So I mean, I don't know really. I'm not sure. But it is what it is. That's a little bit of work for doing all 4 of these blueprints. So that's okay. So the next thing we have to do is get out to our spot where our oil is and start building. Alright, and now we are over where we originally made our road all the way over here a few episodes ago, I think. Decided to run some power towers just all the way down here, and that was nice and easy. And now I've kind of figured out maybe the location I think we should set this, and I think I'm ready to start laying down the blueprints. One thing I will note is that we have to know where our oil is, and on the map we can see we have a pure node right here on this side of the island, which is perfect because that pure node at 100% is going to give us 240 crude oil, which is exactly how much I'm looking to use. So I built out a little zoop platform pretty much. This is 9 by 11 actually, but I have an idea of how I want this to work. I don't know how it's going to look, but I'm going to try it out. So our blueprint we know is a 4x4 foundation, and it's pretty much fully utilized, so it's going to be 4x4 per blueprint. But if we do 2 sides, that'll be, well, if we did a square, it'd be 8x8. We need a pathway in there, so let's say an 8x9. We have 9 wide here, so we could probably afford to lose a few foundations on the front, so I'm going to place them right about here. And I think we're going to grab this blueprint out real quick, and I'm going to rotate this till I have it, I think like this. I think this is how I want it. Could be wrong. I think I want the, I want all the inputs and outputs like on the inside here. Press H. And we're going to line that up. That looks correct, I think. So this should be, this is 1, 2, and 3. Actually, I don't know if it's going to let me nudge it this far, but we'll see. Oh, it is. Perfect. Okay. All right, so this is taking up those half of it pretty much. So we're going to place it down here. And that builds. All right. And then I'm thinking, we can just grab that back with the pick, and we are out of place. There's one thing, I didn't have enough resources. I didn't have enough inventory space for all the resources. So I'm going to place down a storage, dump down a bunch of these different things in here, and I'm going to go grab some plates and probably some more concrete. I'll be right back. Okay, so went and grabbed all those materials that we needed, and now I should be able to build the rest of these out. Now, I need to make sure that I have it's all lined up properly. So I'm going to continue with that. Building like that. Should, go yellow. That's perfect. I think it's yellow because those walls inside each other are maybe facing. I'm not sure. I think that's what it's from. But let's see, we got 2 of these. So 1, 2. And then we will have one on this side. And that will be right here. But I need to make sure I have it in the right spot. It should be this one right here. I just don't know if we want 1 or 2 in the middle here. And this is the dilemma that I usually run into. I don't know how much space I want to take up, but I'm thinking we might want two, because I have an idea for interesting little pathway. I think we need two for it though, so I'm gonna nudge this over, and we'll go with this here. So here we go. And again, I'm going to make sure with the nudge feature, this is all lined up just like that. Oh, hey, that is the wrong button. There we go. Okay, so we have both of our machines pretty much ready here for the most part. And now I just want to figure out how I want to join these two together. Okay, so I have just finished the logistics for these two like blueprint sides. Not everything is working completely functional, mostly due to the fact that you can't connect these pipes in the blueprint to the wall. So there's a little bit of like it was too close, and then it wasn't perfectly aligned, and some other stuff. But we got it figured out. So we basically have all of the oil. So I have it on a foundation and a ramp just coming up right here, all powered. So the oil is at 240 per minute, and then I got a pump just pushing, making sure it pumps all the way up here, and that pump sends it into this side, and then it loops back around on the other side. Considering pipes can go either way, it works out pretty well. We actually don't need these here at all. So there we go. Something I had an issue on for, I think, multiplayer at one point was refineries not using power even though they were connected to power. So I'm not sure that was happening here with the blueprints, but it was only with blueprints. I should clarify that. Auto save. So I think it shows on this side where we are connected, but it's still, so, and it'll show no power, but we have our power lines already built into the blueprint here. So like this little, oh, that's the wrong thing. So we should be able to select, yeah, so it has 3 connections going out here. It's basically all connected up. I don't think I did anything wrong. Yep. So those are connected to the line that goes straight down here into this. This one gets sent over here. So as you can see, there's that little cable right here. That is the one that goes over here. So it's all connected to that. This side is not connected, but because I didn't need to connect that side. But we do have it connected over here. So this one is connected into the foundations here, right here, and then it connects over there, same again in the foundations. And I'm not sure why the blueprint doesn't recognize that it has these connections, but I gotta figure that out. But that's the issue I'm running to right now. That's kind of annoying for sure. And I think this is like an, oh hey, what? Oh, it's a conveyor. I was confused while I was getting pushed. And I believe this is an update 7 issue as well, so I'm not sure why it hasn't been fixed, but it is what it is. Okay, so I have finished up the logistics and started the designing process. Part of the designing I did do just now, just because it kind of coincides with the logistics and the way I was wanting to run all of it, and so I kind of did a little bit of it. It's not done at all, but just wanted to point that out. So we have our oil coming in over here. This is 240 per minute, just kind of taking a little foundation right over here. It's being pumped up with that, pumped up here, and getting fed through this side. Then it loops back around by those fuel buffers over to this side, and all of this gets output underneath. It's kind of a mess of conveyors and whatnot because none of this is directly aligned, so it's kind of weird to do two different outputs, because basically what's happening is all of this is being sent north, so directly north down here. And I wanted to kind of showcase what this facility will be making, which is the plastic and rubber and things like that. I have them coming up now into this hallway which I made, and this hallway showcases the items. So each item or each belt has its own set of items. So we have plastic on one side, rubber on the other, just encased in this. And I did design this with lumen in mind, and I'm going to switch to lumen real quick just so we can see the difference between this and what lumen, or what it will look like with lumen on. And this is with lumen on. It looks very different, very different. The purple actually, or the pink, I guess, actually does, let me turn off my flashlight, does show through. And I think with this like actually being in a closed building, it'll look even better. But I kind of thought the blue and pink kind of go pretty cool together. This is a hallway, and then I think maybe we'll have a room overlooking kind of the output of whatever these are going to. So maybe we have another factory line here dealing with the fuel, because we will want to package fuel. So we just need to build up a little plastic and rubber, and I think we can send off a milestone for that. So I'm actually going to create just some basic level storages here. And we're going to dump these resources in here. Man, lumen is dark. Wow. I'm going to go ahead and turn that lumen back off. Alright, now we can see on the camera, which is nice. And we have our rubber and plastic being all brought in now at should be about 120, or sorry, no, 80 per minute. But I do actually need to see if I can upgrade. Oh, I need to get rid of this. One over here? No, there's not. So these both need Mark II, so this will actually pull in the backup. So we're only producing about 80, actually exactly 80 per minute of each, but that it should be plenty for now. Even to go into some computers, I believe we should be totally fine. I think from what I remember, we will start at the start for one manufacturer, we will need 45. We don't have computers unlocked yet, but we'll need 45, I think, rubber per minute. And then plastic we'll use for tons of foundations. So all these foundations up here will be turned to coated foundations, so this will look even better. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and wait for these two to box up a little bit. And just in case I did not explain this before, we have this fuel buffer for oh, I don't even know where the fuel's going. Is it all like, oh, maybe it's in all of them, I guess, I don't know. But we have this here to hopefully contain some of that fuel, and then we can alleviate the refineries. So those refineries have to get the fuel out to keep taking the heavy oil residue, which is a byproduct of the plastic rubber. So once we unlock the fuel generators, or packager actually, we'll be able to automate this and make sure this fuel goes somewhere. But that is the I didn't want to make petrol coke, which is normally what you would do to sink the petrol coke with the heavy oil residue, but I didn't want to change that, so I just figured I'd let it run for now, and we'll build up a little bit and then we'll unlock that packager. So I'm gonna build up a few stacks, and we'll go back to the MAM. Okay, so now that we're back at the hub terminal here, we can unlock our alternate fluid transport milestone. So this is pretty big. It gives us the packager, and then we can package oil, fuel, water, heavy oil residue, biofuel, which actually, that one's pretty cool because we also get the ability to use liquid biofuel, which I've never made, but I think it might actually be useful for jetpack stuff. So I definitely want to experiment with both those. I've not used all of the alternate fuel types for the jetpack yet, so I'm excited to use that. So Something I was doing in spare time was crafting some heavy modular frames. We don't have the manufacturer, which is in the next milestone, which we can also unlock. And that gives us the computers, which is something we will be looking for next episode. So let's go ahead and unlock this milestone right here. We got, I think, everything we need, and all of the wire. And we're going to send this off. Alright, and now we should be able to look at some packaged fuel. Okay, so I've got a packager here placed, and looking at packaging fuel here. So we just need 2 packagers here for 80 fuel per minute, which is easy, but the empty canisters is something I'm looking at here, and I believe that's made in a constructor. So let's do empty canisters here, and we have some alternates right here, and that is this one, which is relatively cheap with just iron and copper sheets, and we have steel, which I don't really want to use, and we have the normal plastic one here, which will do 60 per minute. This one is only oh, that is the wrong one. This one's only gonna do 60 as well, so we'll need 1.3 of these constructors basically, which means we're, I think, 40, so 40 plates and 15 copper sheets per minute, which is not horrible, but I don't know what's in the area there. I don't actually think there's that many in the area, which means we're gonna have to create a factory that sends canisters over there. Because I don't really want to use all of our plastic because we end up using 45 plastic to package the fuel, and that's over half our plastic, but that is an option. So I'm going to figure out which one that we want to do, and kind of go from there. Okay guys, so I have kind of, for the most part, I think figured out what I think I'm going to do here. So that is, I think we're going to end up using just the base recipe for the canisters, and that will and I think it'll be fine. So I realized that I don't have any initial allocation for the 80 plastic other than storage for coda foundations and milestones and things like that. So I think it'll actually be okay to use, I think it'll be 40 plastic, so half of our plastic production, to go into packaging fuel, and then we can use that packaged fuel obviously for our own storage, and then also trucks and things like that, which kind of works out well. And so because the computers is going to use, I think, 45 rubber per minute, so we're kind of doing the same thing. So it's about the same ratio, so I think that should be fine. So what I think we'll just do kind of like a one-to-one production line almost. So we can pretty much just do like a, let's say a constructor here. I'm just kind of throwing things down. Let's say we do a constructor here that is producing empty canister into like a packager. So if we do like something like this, and this will feed packaged fuel, then we're actually only going to want, so we're going to need 40 canisters per minute. So we set this to 40 canisters per minute, and now we just need to input plastic and input our fuel, and we'll be all good here. We need to set up a pipe like so, and we'll do a horizon to vertical for that, and boom, something like that. And we can even throw in some, say, a window wall here. Let's say we did something like this, and we use like the default window wall here, maybe. I don't know if we want it too tall, but maybe we do something like that. And we can kind of see that working. And then if we were to continue that down, we'd be able to maybe add in another like hallway and have a little bit of a fuel line showing as well. So like have all three products kind of showing their faces. Or we can actually wrap it around this way. So if we continued, maybe, not sure. But I do want to try to incorporate the fuel kind of like how I did with these. So we have plastic going through here, and we have rubber. I think this is on a, I don't know if that's on, I think it should be on a Mark II belt. Now I kind of want to do the same thing with the fuel, so I'm going to see if I can, but I think I'm going to clean up this fuel buffer, get the other side as well going, and try to figure out the best way to make this thing work. Okay, so I have managed to kind of squeeze in logistics here. It's kind of becoming a mess. I'm going to delete that actually. Never mind. There we go. Yeah, so the logistics are kind of becoming a little bit of a mess. But I managed to squeeze in a, let's see, I need a ladder. Managed to, oh wait, I already have one. There we go. Managed to squeeze in a conveyor for the fuel for, you know, kind of no reason, but hey, it's there. But yeah, there we go. And we are sort of producing stuff. I need to get rid of this fuel to be able to, for it to keep making plastic and whatnot. I think it's going to fill up kind of soon, so there's that. But I do have to go make sure all my connections are fine for the refineries making, you know, plastic rubber. This side should be fine, but I think the other side is, yeah, so it's filling up with fuel now, so it's going to be making like, it's going to slow down making some of those. I'm assuming some of them have already started. Looks like the plastic is fine. Rubber is probably completely full. So I definitely need to figure out where all these outputs are going to go. I think we have to truck in all of these items here. I might as well just kind of zoop this for a bit and kind of get some space here. And then we should be able to build a exporting station here. So with a truck, I was already planning on having you know, a line down here as like the road or rail line or whatever, and I think we can just kind of put the road into the main road, just kind of clip it in there, and it should be fine. So now I just need to figure out an actual you know, decent way to do that, and kind of where to do it. So if we decide we want to do, like, let's say a 4x, there we go. We would just do a, like, let's say a 4 wide. So let's do this. We can, apparently we cannot delete the ladder. Now we can. Four wide, so we have, you know, our one way and then the other way. Well, let's just zoop it. Oh, we are out of concrete. I should have some concrete in here. I hope I have enough. Yeah, I should have enough here to finish off this job. Let me throw some silica in here. I probably don't need that much silica on me. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one right here, I guess we'll delete maybe, because it doesn't really line up with the other side here. We're gonna have to delete that, and then just gonna zoop until we are meshed in all the way. that, and like that. Oh, maybe one more here. All right. Okay, so now we have this one all kind of locked in there. Hope it doesn't cause too many issues with snap. Oh no, we should be fine. Should have plenty of room. Okay, so the other thing that I kind of, oh hey, autosave, but I kind of want to just check real quick is barriers in the middle. I don't know, kind of where this area to start or end would be, but let's just throw out like here and here. That doesn't seem too bad at all. I might just be able to kind of just zoop this all the way down here, and we kind of just have a decent road to work with. It's going to be hard to blend the outside edges, so I'm kind of not going to worry about that, like a barrier on each side. And it's also pretty hard to do that with curves, I think, especially on the inside. So that's why I kind of didn't want to stress too hard on that. But we're just going to build this road all the way down here. And we need to figure out, let's see, so if we were to do like 2 more of these maybe, and then that would be the end. So probably want, let's just throw down some walls for some, just to kind of visually mark that, maybe this might be the end here. And then we definitely need a conveyor wall. And I think what I'm going to do here is drop a barrier here, and then we can just throw the conveyor wall, replace it. So I hold control on that, and it's going to replace that. Oh, hey. And then we're going to build off of this, actually. So I'm going to building here and here, and then we can build those two, snapping to the foundation. This is going to have some fighting here, but that will be okay for now. We can paint black, and actually what we will end up doing is control and then control. So like that's where I paint it and it doesn't change. So I just change it to a different conveyor wall and then change it back, and then it's painted. So that's how I fix that normally, or how I have been doing it. I don't know if there's a way to avoid it or do it differently. I'm not sure, but that's just the way I've been doing it. So works for me. So we gotta get our plastic over here. So sure, let's run it right there. Is this lined up? Ooh, no, it's not. Might want to line these up actually. So, wait. No, it is lined up. Oh, convenient. Look at that. Alright. So that means we gotta get our fuel here and our rubber here. Alright. Rubber on one side, fuel on the other. And we will need, what, 3 truck stations here? Yeah. So we have 80 fuel per minute actually, which is, I need to make sure this is a level 2 belt then. So let's fix that real quick. That's all level 2 there. And then we need level 2 on our rubber. And I'm going to throw a level 2 on the plastic, but we won't need it. So, because I think we'll only be exporting like 40, so there's that. But we need this to go to truck stations now. And I think what I'll do is have them facing inwards towards each other. So if we grab some truck stations. Oh, I'm in the way. GG. Alright, so let's press H here, and let's bring it out to this foundation line, and then the internals. This is probably okay. gonna have to figure out the logistics for this. Might be kind of tough. Let's throw down one of these guys here, one of these guys here, and then on the other side, something like that, and then we're actually gonna send this one out in line. Okay, so that should be lined up there. And then these should be lined up, hopefully. Yep. Alright, so we got 3 truck stations here. We're gonna have to extend this platform for sure to at least get 3 here. I don't know how much space we'll need. That is the issue right now. Then we have to extend this road out as well, for sure. Alright, there we go. And we kind of have a tree clipping, but whatever, I'll fix that later. Okay, so plastic, we know needs to just go into here. Okay, so plastic will start going in there. I'm actually going to hook up power so they can start building up an inventory. Okay, so what I've decided to do actually is pretty simple. We are going to get all of the resources back to our factory, our starter factory area. Now, what we can do is we can just set up a truck station area that is bringing in the plastic and rubber like as we need or whatever. But what we will end up doing is using the fuel as a fuel supply over there. So what we can do is we can set up these 3 over there, and then the fuel that we will send over there will then be dispersed on the incoming over there, and we can refuel there. I believe, I'm pretty sure we can. So it shouldn't be too hard. I don't know if I probably explained that very poorly. Basically, we'll refuel over at the starter factory area instead of over here, so I don't have to worry about load balancing fuel and figure out whatever. And I can set up the logistics area how we need over there. This factory is not done necessarily, but I think what I'm going to do is just kind of get some walls down here and whatnot. Oh, that is not the correct side, or like correct snapping point at all. But I think if I get some walls down here, kind of just enclose some of this area, platform it off a little bit, and then kind of throw down some paint and maybe some other stuff. I'm not sure entirely on that yet, but we should be able to blend this like so. Probably. I forgot this one's also a catwalk with railing, just clips into the wall. We could do something like that. Throw like a catwalk with railing here. We can get down, maybe. Let's say we did like a staircase right here. Oh, that goes down like super far. Okay. I didn't realize that. So unless we hop up here and then kind of do something like this, maybe. Oh, the ramp is like much smoother. Oh, you know what? We might actually have to start with something like this over here, and then ramp down to a platform that is like already here, like this, because I think because the foundation size is like slightly off, doesn't like to doesn't really like to work very well. So we could do something like this, maybe. It's kind of hard to make this work, not gonna lie. We would do like the ramp like this, and then maybe just grab the crossing path, throw it in there. And this kind of works. It's not great, but it does kind of work. But that's the general idea for the most part. Again, not perfect. And definitely not done, but I think that's gonna do it. I know it's not completely done, but I think next episode we will unlock the coded foundations and then unlock that next milestone that we need for the manufacturers, which I believe, well, if I don't already have the things I need, I'll make sure I get them so that we can just start the episode unlocking that. And then we will be looking into just making some computers and probably some heavy frames. So just like one manufacturer of each. And then we will kind of be able to be set up for the unlocking like the fuel generators and unlocking train networks, which is kind of like a big boost in productivity that we can do, and creating like large production lines and interconnecting with those train lines and things like that, which is like such a fun part of Satisfactory. But I very much appreciate anybody who has been watching this series, because I think it's been kind of, you know, whatever, boring, you know, whatnot. But I think some of these later creations that we'll be able to get into once we have the hover pack and all the stuff unlocked will be really fun to make. And yeah, but I'm pretty happy with at least the hallway that we got here and how it turned out. So yeah, but I will see you guys all in the next episode. If you guys did enjoy, please let me know anything you want to let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.